courtship and marriage and all that fun stuff.
Good stuff.
I thought this was an interesting one because I know with the LDS culture and their courtship, it's so much different than everyone else.
Yeah.
Very, very fast.
Yeah. I've known one of my old home teachers. I think, he proposed to his wife on like their third date or something like that.
Man.
I've grown up in this culture but living and being part of, the rest of the world culture as well. It's still surprising and shocking how quickly people end up getting married and stuff here.
Yeah, I say from start to finish, from when I met my husband to when we got married was 10 months. Well, yeah, 10 months.
Yeah.
And so, because we met and we started just talking for a month and then we started dating. And after 4 months, we got engaged. And then 5 months later, we were married. And so for everybody else, that was really fast. But we're just like, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of things that have to do with that too are, because you can't you're not living together, you're not being intimate physically and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It does speed it up a little bit because you're not like everybody else who are reaping all the benefits of marriage beforehand.
Yeah.
So.
And I think another reason like it gets quicker is a lot of LDS people don't have, the huge weddings that a lot of other people do that cost a lot of money and take a lot of time to plan.
Yeah.
Going to the temple doesn't take all that extra work and effort, so you can get there quicker.
Yeah, that, and they won't even let you book until I think it's like 3 or 4 months in advance.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It wasn't, or was it? It was something like that. They don't do the calendar out like forever long. So
yeah,
because I know originally, because we were gonna, like, we got engaged in November, and we're gonna get married in like the following August, and I was gonna try and book the temple for August, and they wouldn't do it.
mm-hmm.
They were like, it has to be only so far out. Like, oh. And then come that January, we decided we were going to get married in April instead. So moved it further along because we were already out at school, and I was like, we're already spending every day together anyways. Might as well just have less food bills, one rent payment, and
yeah,
no one has to worry about curfew. So made it a little easier. But let's see. But yeah, like I've noticed like with LDS, like their courtship, it's more, unlike other people, we're very casual with our dating.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no big deal to go out and date like 3 or 4 different people and not be exclusive just to go out on dates. Everybody else, they just kind of look at you like you're weird. If you're not like in the relationship or you're not committed to the person, then why are you like going out on all these dates?
Why are you dating them rather than just hanging out?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, because then you get questions of like, oh, well, are you guys just hooking up or what's going on? And so, yeah, I was like, But because I know my husband and I, because like we got weird questions about why we're getting married so soon and everything else, and or even like with when we started dating and how like our courtship went, trying to explain that to like our non-member friends was that was interesting, like why we got married so fast, especially because the only people in our family who are our members are our parents. And so explaining to grandparents and aunts and uncles and everyone why we're not waiting till we're done with college, why we're getting married during our first year. And same with, because it wasn't so much that like we were like, we felt the pressure to get married, like, because looking at the next one, like push, like it says, why do we push marriage and family and everything? Family's the center of everything that we do in the church, and it's the way to, without that covenant, you can't make it to the celestial kingdom. And trying to explain to our aunts and uncles and extended family and friends and everybody who were questioning why we got married so young, why we didn't wait, after knowing each other for 3 or 4 years, or when we're done with school. And we just kind of had to find a way to say nicely that this is how we feel. We're not just making a quick judgment. We've thought about this a lot, but pressure is there, because if I've noticed too, if like missionaries, when they come back, if they're not married within a certain amount of time, they get looked at weird.
Yeah.
More so the young men than the women.
Yeah.
But
which I find kind of amusing, because not so much now, but not too long ago in history, it was the women were getting married really young, and it was normal for the guy to wait till he was older before getting married. So the fact that that's flipped kind of with LDS culture is a bit weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the same with like the pressure to have kids once you get married.
Yeah.
That was because everybody was because all the LDS people were, because we were put after 6 months of marriage, people were like, okay, well, why aren't you guys having kids yet? What's going on? Why aren't you? And we're like, we're not ready. It's not the right time for us. And then we were getting to be the point where where we were getting close to being out of school, married for a little over 2 years, at 2 years at that point, and they were like, still no kids. And then as we're my husband was in his final semester.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm like, yeah, we're having kids now, because we were pretty much done with school, and we felt more, we needed to spend more time as a couple, and just the two of us.
Yeah.
Before we brought kids into it. Because with our courtships being so short, when you throw kids into it really fast, you don't get time to build your bonds together.
Yeah.
Because I understand those other couples who, you've known each other and you've been dating for years, and you finally get married, and then within the first year, you go ahead and have kids. But you've had all that time together.
Yeah.
So.
And, it's one of those things that, everyone wants to be involved in, oh, why don't you have kids? Why aren't you married yet? All that stuff. But in the end, it's only that family's concern, and different for everyone.
Yeah, LDS people are just really nosy and pushy. They like to be part of everybody's business.
Yep.
So, yeah, I thought that was, let's see.
Just kind of along with the pressure to get married, talking to someone a couple of weeks ago during the lesson we had when we were supposed to conduct interviews.
Mm-hmm.
The person I was talking to said that she didn't think it was completely, just pressure to get married, but also, pressure to just not put it off. Once you know that this is the person you're going to marry, don't wait all that time. Don't wait 5 years and have a long engagement. Just get it done, sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm saying, because once you know, and once there's that ring on your finger and everything else, the temptation is so much worse.
Yeah.
The devil works on you in mysterious ways at that point.
I can imagine.
And so, once you know, there's no, if you want to make it to the temple, you got to do it quick, otherwise you won't.
Yeah.
Or if you do it, either you're not worthy to be there, or you'll have to get legally married first before you can go through.
Yeah.
Which apparently I heard that they're changing the civil marriage thing. Getting married, they're possibly changing that you can get married civilly first, and you don't have to wait you don't have to wait the full year to go through the temple.
Yeah. I didn't hear that, but that is interesting.
It's I heard that with all of the gay marriage stuff, that because with us since we actually get legally married in the temple, there could be that irritation of people because gay people can't get married in the temple.
Yeah.
So,
So just kind of separating the marriage and the sealings.
yeah, to make it completely separate now. Which I don't know how that would be. I'm kind of interested to see how that would work. But
One of those things, like, I'm not married, so I, haven't gone to the temple and done all that stuff.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's, and like this lesson was saying, the civil marriage is just signing the document. So I would think it's not going to be a huge deal to, sign the document first and then go to the temple and have the sealing done. But at the same time, I also imagine it's going to be, a bit weird, having to do the two separate steps rather than all at once.
Yeah, it's really fast when it's all at once, because once you get there, you go, you sign your stuff, you sign everything, and go up, do your sealing, and then your sealing certificate is signed by the witnesses, and you leave.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, if they separate that, it'll be interesting to see, because I know you can, like, bishops are no longer able to marry people.
Aren't they?
No, they're no longer able to.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, they changed that. Like, they've officially changed that. That was part of, I think they mentioned it in this month's visiting teaching lesson.
But I should go back and reread that.
I only know because I had my lesson that my visiting teacher came, and then I helped my mom prepare hers.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom's visiting teacher came over, so I had it like 3 times. So it was looked at a lot. But let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. Talk about that one. And sealings. But all right, so looking at why family is important for the LDS culture. I say we did touch on that because the family is without getting married, it's getting sealed in the temple. You can't get into the celestial kingdom without. Our church is centered on children and families and everything, because that's how everything is passed on.
Yeah.
And
like such a big part of the whole religion.
Yeah. That's why we have primary and young men and young women's and everything else. We focus on not just the children, but on everything.
Yeah.
Same with the proclamation. Breaks down about things, about why things are the way they are.
Yeah. There's lots of, family home evening, just all this stuff to strengthen family ties and family bonds, because it's such an important thing to, like you said, get into celestial kingdom, and also keeping stuff here on the earth more, I don't know what the word is, just better organized. I want to say, though that's not really what I'm looking for. It's, just keeps it together and keeps people safer and happier and have a better chance of making good decisions.
Yeah. I see, because I know when I looked at the, what was it? I think it was this class. The discussion board for this week, about reasons why people marry.
Yeah.
You look at it, and we marry for stability. So you get the emotional and financial and all of that stability. You marry for company. It's the way that children are created.
Yeah.
It's the best it's the best way for children to be raised is with 2 loving parents. Even though research has started to show that it doesn't matter if it's 2 men, 2 women, man and a woman, as long as they have 2 people who love them, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so that's where you look at it. Men and women each have their own role. Women are typically more nurturing, while men are more rules and protecting, providing, and everything else. And so there's a reason why we have marriage the way it is, for the balance.
Yeah.
And so I say something I've noticed that since the LDS Church focuses more on families, that our church seems to, everything lasts, I don't say not longer, but you get more people
Yeah.
because we're so family oriented. And I know that's one thing with my parents. That's part of the reason they joined the church, is because they liked that everybody was focusing on families, and that children were accepted, because they had plenty of churches that they looked into that they didn't allow children in their services until they were a certain age.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do with? At the time I was, let's see, when we joined the church I was 6, so I was under the age of 6 while they were looking for churches and everything. And so they were like, what do I do with her while we're at church? If she can't go, then what do we do with her?
Yeah.
And so I think it draws a lot more people in because of how family oriented we are, and it's a way to keep everybody together and everything else.
Yeah, and I think stuff like that, like if the church doesn't allow like the young kids in, it also probably drives away, new families or families that are really close to one another, because why would you want to go somewhere where it says your kid's not welcome?
Yeah. And that was a lot of thing with my parents. They're like, this is probably why this is not a young church. There's a lot of old people because all their kids are gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say something that I've seen that especially with like the more westernized countries, how their birth rates have gone down.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting to be below replacement levels in a lot of different countries, especially the U.S. I think the LDS population, or all the LDS families and everything, they're able to help with that because they have more than like the 2 kids typically.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I think that's something that sets us apart. Of, while everybody else is, putting off having kids, not having kids, we're all having kids.
Yeah.
And plenty of them. So, but let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I had thoughts on in this. But what about you? Did you have anything else you're thinking of with this?
Not really.
Okay. All right. And that is pretty much all I had.
Okay.
But yeah, so hopefully next week, I go to the doctor tomorrow. They'll let me know if we're gonna try, they're gonna try and induce me or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So if they do, I'm hoping they'll just induce me Sunday, and I'll have the baby Monday and be home Wednesday. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, hopefully it all goes well.
I hope so. Otherwise, we'll just, baby will come when baby comes. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I will text you and let you know if I'm not able to do it on Thursday.
Okay.
But if not, I'd probably plan for around the same time on Thursday.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. See you then.
Bye.